right now, I don't want it to be seen or done as any type of like interviews. This is just two friends talking. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's the only thing that I really want everybody to really understand is that we're giving them access to a conversation between you and me, and that's
Okay.
it. You know what I mean? Just the fact that the camera is there is it shouldn't be anything. It's just two guys having coffee in the morning, you know, um, talking about whatever the fuck it is, because you have your own experience, you have your own expertise in life. I have certain things that I've done and I've seen, together. Um, I really feel that we can honestly help a lot of people because there's a lot of confused people out there right now. It scares me to death. I'm, I'm entering my midlife, I guess you could say that, whatever just turned 46 years old. And my son is 20, 21 years old. And I noticed that the future looks kind of wishy-washy, you know?
Okay.
So the more we help prepare these people, the more we help them, there's nobody out there teaching people how to be independent. They're out there, on the contrary,
Mm.
how to be completely dependent. And when you're independent, you you see other things, man. You notice other things in life. You realize that you can change, that you can manifest, that you can alter the way your fucking life is going. When you realize that it's not that hard, and then when you see a fucking, a hairy fat mechanic, you know, have a decent fucking life, and then all of a sudden realize that holy shit, this is not what I really need to be doing moment, and then focusing on other things. Yeah, I know there's a lot of other people like me out there that could hear and need to hear something. The same thing goes with you. You know what I mean? That's what we were talking about yesterday. So,
Yeah.
um, Daniel, I would love for you to please tell me anything and everything about yourself. Like, right? I want the world to fucking know who Daniel Lott is.
I mean, everything about myself, that's
Just tell, you know what I mean? It's just real quick. Why should people listen to whatever the fuck you got to say?
uh quite frankly, I've just lived my life. And I think that's a lot of people might be able to relate to that. I might find a lot of value in it simply because, in my own opinion, I kind of grew up as a not the best. I wouldn't know how to put it in the proper terms. I made choices to fit in growing up that were against who I was raised to be. And as I got older, I was able to, personally develop and get back to who I'm supposed to be. And I've learned a lot of lessons over that course of time. Um, and then, pulled myself up and found greatness in a lot of different areas. And I think I can share those experiences to help people overcome the same obstacles. And I think that's really important because, the struggles that we go through are wasted if we keep them to ourselves. Because there's people that are going to go through the same things that you have went through. You're like, the hairy fat mechanic. It was like, all right, well, I was the heavy drinking, truck driver, tow truck record operator, cook, kitchen manager, football player. You put on a lot of different hats over the course of your life, and you just learn a lot. I made a lot of mistakes. I'm only 42, um, and I think I can help others not make the same mistakes. And even one of the things that we do now is like, that. that midlife crisis. I don't think we're having a midlife crisis. I think we're just still growing, and
I
evolving.
know.
You said you're 46. I'm 42. And so I'm coming up right behind you, and we met in the entrepreneurial space. Well, what was marketed as an entrepreneurial space. Um, and I spent some years there before you got there, and again took some lumps, made a bit of money, and ended up getting back into the truck. And it's funny because when I went back to the truck, I was getting paid more doing that job as an employee, which made a lot of sense to me. But what the crazy thing is the person that I've developed over all the years is the reason why I'm making what I'm making doing that job. And then I'm just getting promoted, and they're hiring somebody else to do that job so they can put me in management. And just like looking at those different things, and then learning how to navigate the online space and all this other stuff, and open stores, and just keep on moving. So, what I mean in a nutshell, I mean it's a very hard thing to explain. I'm a husband, Christian, big brother to the organization. Just a lot of different hats that I put on. I still feel like I'm an athlete, Spartan, boxer, weightlifter. Like, so there's just a lot of different things. Um, I really wouldn't know how to define it, except for the person that's in relentless pursuit of excellence and greatness and being a gift to society, I guess, and an asset.
You
Would be how I
you said
define
some
myself.
amazing.
Okay.
You said some key parts in your development that I was listening to you, and then all of a sudden it kind of just sparked something in the back of my brain. That kind of hit me. We have a lot of because the way we were brought up, or how we were brought up, and who we were. Um, Personal development, I guess you could say it, pretty much saved my life. When I was introduced to personal development, um, I'm going to go back to early Jim Rohn type deal. You know, uh,
What year was that?
I'm telling. Let me see. This was. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know it was I didn't know it was called personal development. This was back like 97,
Okay.
96. I knew there was something different in the way that I thought that I could, because I guess in my household I would there was a mixture. For example, my dad, he taught me tremendous work ethic. He was self-employed his whole life, so he knew that if he didn't go out there, then we didn't eat. So that was pretty much it. It's just most people don't understand that when you're self-employed, it's like, oh, he has a business. No, he's not. The job owns him. He owns his job. He owns his job, and yeah, that shit, to a certain extent, most people, it's hard to take that step. Um, but when you work for yourself, you have a little bit more. I think that somebody that works for themselves has a little bit more cojones than the average Joe, because you don't know if you're going to get that next check. You know what I mean? You assume, you know what I mean? But when you're actively out there trying to pursue it, yeah, I don't know. Um,
I get
in
it.
that personal, I know, in that personal development space, um, most people just think also it's just sales or how to speak, or they don't understand that there's a full circle, and it, it's not just business. It's also about life. It's also learning about your everydays. It's all the hats that we wear. We wear different hats. You said it yourself, right? Driver, cook, right? Same thing. I shit. People know you. People know you, but it's not the full you. They know their version of
Right.
you. And it's you're developing yourself. You're learning how to develop yourself, and it takes a lot of fucking time to really understand it. But you're learning how to develop yourself on every possible skill level, in everything that whatever you represent. So
Yeah.
example, I am a husband, I am a father, I'm a brother, I am a cousin, I am an uncle, I am an airplane mechanic, I am a friend, an acquaintance, I am that guy I once saw on TikTok. I am, yeah, you see what I'm saying? It's just, whatever it is. And when you learn to be able to control your, when you're able to control your physical self, when you're able to control your mindset, when you're able to control all those things, that's just pretty much the beginning. But that's actually the way you start, you know?
Yeah. And you said you started back at personal development in '96. What were you doing? What was your job when you were?
I graduated high school in '96, and uh, you took me back there. My my dad wasn't, he was kind of ill. He was getting sick. My dad was my dad was obese. He's a big, that's hard for me to talk about. But we'll get to that one later. But yeah, he was a big dude. Um, and at one point in his life, he got really sick and he couldn't work. So my mom took over. So that's when she started working full time. Before, she was just a mom. Um, she When she started working full time, I was a senior in high school, and I remember that I had the option to graduate early, and I didn't know anything about those things. I had to ask. I had all my credits. I didn't know I had all my credits. We were having a hard time at home, and I needed to work. So I needed to figure out how I can help, how I can, make, help. Fucking mom wasn't able to support everything. So I ended up getting three different jobs. I was able to, leave school around 10:30 in the morning with the condition that I come back to night school to do some bullshit, like a couple, night credits that I needed to do. And I said, okay. So it pretty much opened up my day. So I ended up working, fuck, dude. I worked at the Gap before the store. Yeah, before the
Okay.
store opened. Right, I was a stock boy, and I did that because, hey, the clothes from the Gap were cool. Um, they weren't expensive. I got this, I got a discount. I was like, fuck it, I got my clothes situation taken care of just in case, right? Um, I thought of that, and then I said, okay, now I need food. So I worked at a butcher block for meats, and I worked at, back then there was an Albertsons as a supermarket. I worked at the Albertsons in the deli and in the meats department. I kept rotating back and forth. So my food situation was taken care of. So we didn't have to worry about food or clothes. So I got that one taken care of. Um, you know, so what I would do is if I had all three checks, I'd give mom my biggest check and I'd keep the little ones,
Mm.
which was the Albertsons check was the biggest one. And that, how much was it? I don't know, dude, maybe $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
But hey, that was a lot of money.
Especially in '96.
Yeah, that was a lot because I remember when in 1996 I bought my first watch, and it was a Tag Heuer, and that was my gift to me. It
Okay.
was a blue F1. I actually had that watch, a blue F1 Tag Heuer chronograph. It cost it was like $1,200, dude, back in 1997. I showed up to that place and I cried every minute of it because I was excited to be able to purchase it, but at the same time scared that I'm dropping a month's worth of, you know,
No kidding.
that was my, but I learned it because I paid it through layaway. I paid it off in 3 months. I remember that.
Mhm.
I was really proud of that moment too. I really was. I couldn't believe I actually did that one and still helped at that.
That's pretty cool. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
so
That's
what
when it
turned you on to
started.
personal development? What turned you
That's
on to
when it
personal
started.
development? Then?
I
That's crazy.
that's when it started. I saw I saw an infomercial, and when it was called Fortunes in Foreclosures. That thing is it was a guy who says that he used to work in some yacht club or whatever, tennis club, and he was a waiter, and he listened to how the rich were making deals with real estate. So then he ventured into it and started making money, and then he sold his fucking program. Sound familiar, guys? Shit happens all the time right now, doesn't it? So I fell for one of those, and it changed my life. It really did. Did I make money from the guy? No, I didn't. And did he go to jail? I think he did. But but I think, and I still personally, I don't remember the guy's name, but I personally thank him because I remember the very beginning he gave me something really valuable. He taught me how to think and how to dream because part of the very beginning, aside from all the bullshit that he sent, there was one thing in particular that he fucking gave, and it was a journal with questions. And you had to fill out the journal with questions because on his fucking video cassettes, these were VHSs, right? It was a whole fucking complete course on how to, right? So I think it was like fucking 24 cassettes. It's 24 hours worth of fucking school or something like that. I don't know. And I'm over here fucking taking notes in this journal just because you have to fill out the whole journal to get the manual. You see what I'm saying? So they'll send it to you, but you're missing key parts.
Mm.
Hey, that's not a bad idea, dude, by the way. That's actually pretty fucking cool. I just get the whole journal, and then by watching the class, you're taking notes and you're filling in the rest of the fucking journal. That way, at the end, you have a full fucking manual on how this business works.
Okay.
So I did that. And then part of that was the how to dream. What are you doing now? Where do you see yourself in 6 months? Where do you want to see yourself in 6 months? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Most people don't understand the power in that alone and thinking on that, and that's what changed everything for me. because I remember specifically that writing things down and learning and then starting to learn or understand that preparation, um, fuck, by bringing things in, by me materializing it, right? So it's I guess you could call it manifestation. I
Mhm.
guess you could be say that. I guess you could say because once you think it's one thing that thoughts don't come alive. Thoughts are just dreams. It's no big deal. Everybody's got them. Most people don't even know how to achieve them or how to do anything. It just there's like blah 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 whatever. But there's something powerful about putting it on paper by speaking it. You're actually casting spells. We really are. We're casting into existence something that the universe will, and you have to be careful. Don't even get me started on that one. You got to be careful on that one too, because you have to be specific. Because then, if you're not specific, it'll give you what it thinks you need, not what you want.
Look, there's something that I've said, and I've said it so many times when we're getting like the worst set of circumstances. And I think the one that was most clear was when we got stuck in Mexico for, I think we were down there for like 21 days.
Wow.
And my wife, before we had left, had said, I wish we could spend 3 weeks down here. And then we got quarantined with COVID and stuck down there. And I tested positive, and when I was cleared to fly, she tested positive. And I think it's like 21 days on point. And we were sitting there on the resort, and I was like, we got exactly what you asked for. And she was like, I was like, you got to get more specific next time. This is crazy. And she was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
But I mean, it happens in so many different ways. If you go back, actually, like a lot of people don't reflect enough. And when you start reflecting on like the situation that you're going through, it's just like, oh yeah, I kind of asked for this. Kind of sucks. It wasn't specific, and I think a lot of people, when you actually look at it, it's like, oh yeah, no, that's what I asked for. So every time.